Hello, everybody. Welcome to CIO Leadership Live. I am Kirat Attar, content strategist at Foundry, and I will be your host for this episode. Our guest today is Jaiprakash Sharma, Executive VP of Technology for InfoEdge India Limited. Jay, welcome to this edition of CIO Leadership Live. It is such a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Complete Foundry team. It's a pleasure to be on this platform.
Thank you. Jack, can you tell us a little bit about InfoEdge India and your role and responsibility as the Executive VP of Technology in this company?
Absolutely. Infoage is not a new name to, especially for the internet industry in India, especially. It's a prominent Indian online classified organization. We are engaged in various online ventures. Some of the known portfolios goes on online platforms such as Naukri.com, which is a job portal, 99acres.com, which is a real estate portal, Jeevansathi.com, which is a matrimonial website, and Siksha, which is an educational portal. At InfoEdge, I lead technology operations as a business unit, where I oversee the shared IT services across various subsidiaries. So all the businesses, whatever I talked about, I'm a shared service. My team is a shared service there, and I specialize on any kind of IT problem solving with an expertise on you call it so-called hybrid cloud and security technologies.
All right, understood. Thank you so much for shedding light on your role. InfoEdge does hold a lot of prominent brands in India, which are very well known, and I hope we get to go into all of your, various domains and responsibilities as this interview progresses. Uh, so, Jay, when I was learning about InfoEdge, one of the core values that the company espouses is trust. Given that your customers trust your organization with personal, employment, and financial information, how do you tackle the rising instances of cyber fraud, hacking, and payment scams that plague websites and internet service centered organizations? Could you talk to us about the solutions that you're implementing in this domain?
So first of all, I'll just say it like I'll share a very high level stuff. I'll try to touch upon the technology pieces itself, though, because like I'm not the official spokesperson for the organization, but I try to share my experience with the Foundry team. So certainly, like we believe in trust, especially when we are dealing with so much of critical personal information related to the users. So we are dedicated to tackle all kind of like cyber fraud challenges, which we see it or experience it day to day. But at the same time, like we need to ensure like our users can trust us. So we have a very, I would say, like a strong layered based cybersecurity plan, which we implement across verticals. On a very regular period, I would say, like we conduct security audits, application vulnerability assessments, network vulnerability assessments. These are few things like just to identify and rectify the potential weaknesses in our system. We also use what do you call it, like access control and authentication mechanisms through which we ensure like only authorized people should have access to the important information. It should not shared with everybody. We try to keep up as much possible updated ourselves in the cybersecurity world, so that like we should keep ourselves, our intellectual properties, and our customer data safe from all the new emerging threats. The second one, which you specifically talked about, especially on the on the phishing and with the personal data and financial information. So our core goes with user education and awareness, which I would say that's the integral component of our strategy. Particularly just to recognize the phishing attempts, because nowadays that those attempts are quite advanced, and exercising all kind of cautions so that like every user, whether it is internal, external, should be cautious about how to use the personal information. Though we use various tech tools for threat hunting, detection, mitigations, some of them are quite industry accepted, like web access firewalls, bots, uh, perimeter firewalls, intrusion detection and prevention systems, honeypots. All those, along with what we also call it like a smart AI or ML based log analysis tool, which scans the traffic real time. And maybe like many of the action has been automated, just to which helps us to take quick action to stop any kind of fake activities that happens on the website. I mean, these are few, few of the steps like which we keep taking, through which like we at least ensure like the online space, especially where our data flows, should be safe by using all the web technologies.
All right, understood. I gathered that a lot of work is happening on this front because you mentioned a whole bevy of tools, firewalls and log analysis, and everything that has been automated in order to protect the data of your customers, which I'm sure contributes to them continuing to have trust in InfoEdge's offerings.
Absolutely, because I would just add a few more. So what happens is like since it's a live traffic, right? You do. It is sometimes it is very difficult to predict like how much workload is coming. So most of the actions, like if we leave it on manual or maybe like what I call it like a reactive approach, may not work. So that's where like automation is very very much required.
So you are being more proactive rather than reactive on this.
I mean, that's what we try. Yeah.
Understood. Moving from cybersecurity and protection to emerging technologies, one of your prominent brands is Naukri.com, which is India's largest job search website. How are you utilizing artificial intelligence and machine learning to improve the quality of service on this website, like personalized job recommendations or matching the right candidates with the right employers and innovative recruitment solutions?
So I mean, though this vertical, I don't head in InfoEdge. I mean, there is a separate division for that. So maybe like I may not be the right, or I would say like official spokesperson again. But yeah, I can give you a broad level like what we do, because like this is a collaborative approach. So we certainly in Naukri as well, we leverage AI ML in various ways just to enhance the quality of the service and provide as much possible personalized experience to the users. So I mean, some of them is like you would be or anybody would experience like personalized job recommendation itself. There the AI algorithms uses the behavior analysis, historical job search, just to provide you a personalized job recommendation per user. At the same time, like if I'll talk about machine learning, that continuously keep learning and adapting the user preferences as and when they change, and this basically provides the improvement in the relevance of job suggestions over the time. Also, I mean, if I need to say like job seeker to employment or employer matchmaking, I mean, in both the scenarios, like AI tools helps to the recruiters with the job postings, where like you can consider the factors like skills, experience, preferences, other stuff. At the same time, ML models keep optimizing and make the matchmaking accurate just by auto learning things. Uh, and if we'll talk about like, I mean, the overall recruitment solutions, so there are a lot many things like which we had done for recruiters as well, where A recruiter can take the leverage of intelligent resume parsing, semantic search. This basically helps employers to find suitable candidates, much more suitable candidates, I would say. Uh, there are certain automated screening processes as well, like where we use ML to identify the top candidates based on whatever the criteria recruiters or employer might have put on. We also provide predictive analysis from both AI and ML analytics, which provides the insights, or rather, I would say, like hiring trends, salary expectations, candidates availability. I mean, so that like both employer and job seekers can make the informed decisions. Few more, I would say, like this is related to like how do we keep the engagement on and real time. So every time it may not be possible for the executives to be always in touch. So by implementation of chatbots, virtual assistants, which is powered by AI itself, where you both for the employers as well and for the job seekers as well, it keep engaging on a real time, providing assistance, information, whatever they need. Also, they help to improve the overall website experience as well. And last but not the least, I would touch upon. We use the way, like in my previous in your previous question, which I answered, like we use AI algorithms to help us detect some kind of fraudulent activities as well, just to ensure like integrity and security of the platform is being maintained.
Understood. And thank you so much for that detailed response. I think it would be terrific for, our audience to know just the kind of work analysis and technology that goes into bringing a very vast offering of, millions of job offers, etc., on one particular website. What exactly goes into that?
It's 2:30.
So moving from that to something about infrastructure. Uh, InfoEdge has several platforms, and all of them collectively cater to millions of customers. So, could you tell us a little bit about the kind of special technological provisions you have, you need to implement in your infrastructure, such as with cloud management, servers, and network services? And in your tenure, have you experienced some unique infrastructural challenges that maybe you wouldn't have seen elsewhere?
And though we are not completely different from the industry, we use the similar commodity hardwares. In case for our private cloud, we do have a presence on public cloud as well, but it's a minuscule in nature. Uh, I would say like how we are a little different, or maybe like unique in terms of infrastructure uses. So I would say like we are predominantly an open source community shop. So we the way like we consume the open source community source codes, we similarly keep contributing to the open source world as well, so that like somebody else in the world can take the advantage of that. So it's a mutual agreement. But as far as the question goes, like we mainly leverage our private cloud, especially for our production environment, whereas like some of my uh, DR sites runs out of public cloud at this moment, where my private cloud is also capable enough for to handle the scalability, whatever the flexibility do we need. We ensure like we use auto scaling for traffic management during the peaks, and in case if we cut off few of the workloads during off peak periods. From a server and network perspective, probably one thing which we ensure, like there should be a proper distribution of network and application traffic across multi-server, just to ensure like there should not be a single server which is going to be overwhelmed, or
Absolutely.
at the same time like there should not be a point of failure. So
Yeah.
that way. So a high availability architecture is implemented just to ensure or just to minimize the downtime in our services. Uh, from a security measure perspective, I would say like there are advanced security protocols which we followed. I had already answered some of them, just to ensure like we should protect users' data, maintain the privacy information as well, and continuous monitoring and intrusion detection systems are already in place just to identify honey spots are there, just to identify and see like is there some kind of like fraudulent activity, somebody trying to poach upon. And once we identify, we respond promptly for such threats. Also, if you need to talk about like from a data backup or redundancy perspective, like we implement the safeguard just to ensure we should not have any kind of data loss. Business continuity should be maintained in the events of any system failures. We also focus a lot on performance. I mean, that's the key for us. So we have to be not only available, but at the same time optimally available for the users on all the platforms what they want us to be. So whether it is on desktop, your mobile apps, tabs, thin clients, wherever you want. So we ensure like we leverage CDN as much possible to deliver the optimized web contents, and ensure like these are these are fast enough, reliable in terms of whenever users are even geographically distributed. Then I need to touch upon a little bit on the databases as well. So we utilize this as much possible scalable database solution um, to handle the growth of volume, whether you call it like whether it's a SQL database, whether it's a NoSQL. I mean, both the kind of services we utilize internally. Just to ensure the services are optimally running and users are getting what they are expecting from a performance standpoint. At the same time, I mean, I would also like to touch upon, which is the core, is monitoring and analysis. That's where like we get to know like how we are performing or how our applications are performing in the back. So advanced monitoring tool and analytics tools are already in place. So wherever there is a little bit here and there, like performance, you say like glitch happen on a real time as well. Glitch in a sense like maybe like a degradation of the performance. That time proactively there is a team notified via the proactive alerts. And the resolutions and the actions has been defined for that particular team to just ensure like performance should be optimal. So in case if we need to auto scale down, whatever may be the case, like we try to follow all those things. So I mean, there is a hell lot of things like which goes
I'm
beyond.
starting to understand that there is a
Right.
lot that goes into it because you have to ensure everything all at once: protection, security, cybersecurity, data, preventing data loss, and speed, performance, while also keeping up with changing customer tastes. I think all of it adds together uh, for you to dispense your responsibilities.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of things goes beyond at the same time.
Understood. Uh, I would like to know from your perspective as the executive VP of technology, because you play such a pivotal role in driving digital transformation in your organization. According to you, what does the future of IT look like in the internet platforms or pure play internet services companies, especially because people's needs and behaviors are changing and they're becoming increasingly complex? And do you see any possible challenges as digitalization and automation increases?
I mean, this is a question like which is nowadays like a talk of the town. that
Yes.
what will be the future of internet platforms. So I mean, trust me, the way we had seen and our customers has demanded us. So I would say future probably personalization is going to be on the top as always, because uh, nowadays a term being used like hyper personalization, what people call it. And when we say like hyper personalization means at that particular time you need to understand the complete user behavior, personalized recommendation, enhancing user experience, some of the predictive analysis showing market trends. Lot many things comes into this, just to ensure like services are more and this makes my this rather this rather helps or makes the services more sophisticated,
Yes.
because like we need to keep providing these things on a real time basis. So personalization or hyper personalization along with real time basis is going to be key. um, a lot of AI integration and automation integration will come into the picture, where probably some of the, I would say, humanly driven jobs will be taken over by AI driven chatbots, virtual assistants, and rather not only jobs. I mean, some of the automated decision making processes also start happening, just to enhance efficiency in user engagement. Uh, so these are few things like which I feel like would be the future. uh, the edge computing is going to kick in more, because we had also started leveraging a lot of stats from edge computing. Once the 5G connectivity is going to roll out, and the network will become faster and more reliable, that will certainly unlock, I would say, like new possibilities of enhanced maybe internet platforms or mobile applications, whatever you call it. As far as the second question goes, like especially from a challenge perspective, I would say cybersecurity will always be on the top, no doubt about it. So the risk of sophisticated cybersecurity threats will keep on increasing, and at the same time, like we need to keep the pace along with them, so that we ensure our users' personal information, or rather, like I would say, any kind of information should be safe and secure. Um,
Okay.
so there would be a constant innovation is required on that area, which is security area. Um, Next thing is which probably I would say with Gen AI and couple of other large language models coming into the picture. The maybe a challenge or threat, I would say, like a little bit on ethical use of AI, I would say, because
Very
the
relevant.
way absolutely, because I mean, this is something like which we need to consider, because the way organizations will start adopting it to protect information. At the same time, the bad actors will also make use of the similar
Same
technology to
technology.
enhance,
Yes.
right? So we just need to ensure there should be fairness, there should be transparency, whatever models people will build, and maybe whoever will consume. Regulatory compliances are going to be very, very critical in all these cases, with especially DPDP now coming in. I mean, a lot of stringent rules will come, and at the same time, in case of violations of such regulations,
Yeah.
will comply on a lot of penalties. So we need to be very, very careful about how we can comply to those regulatory compliances. Um, Another thing I would say, like with chatbots and other stuff coming into picture, maybe probably striking the right balance between automation and human touch in user interaction would be crucial. How much context we can add so that, like, the bot should behave like a human and take some of the decisions. May not be very critical ones, but at least like the common ones. So the focus would be there. Uh, what else? I think finally, I would say, like, maybe with all these things, the key is the talent. So maybe like demand of skilled IT professionals will grow. And
That's great news for the people seeking roles in businesses like yours.
Absolutely. I mean, both ways. I mean, but at the same time, like, people need to start at this moment upskilling themselves, because some of the
Absolutely.
what we call it, like redundant jobs may dip down a bit,
Yeah.
because maybe like bot and rest of the things may take over. That gives an advantage for people as well to upskill themselves and maybe be competitive in the market.
Thank you so much for that response. Really detailed look at what the future of IT looks like in this business, and you shed light on some very relevant points, especially AI, edge computing, and definitely we are also, looking forward to seeing how things play out in the market and how they play out with companies who are oriented towards improving technology and thus improving the lives of their consumers. Uh, Jay, that brings me to the end of this episode of CIO Leadership Live. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for sharing insights into your role, and for sharing all the various technological innovations that you are undertaking and spearheading to, first of all, contribute to people's life in such a personal way, because I think trying to find a job, trying to find a house, trying to find the right partner, you've got services on all these fronts. So you're deeply and personally involved in the lives of your consumers, your customers, and you're trying to do right by them, trying to safeguard their information while also trying to help them achieve these milestones in life. So that's it's a really noble way of conducting your responsibility. So thank you so much for sharing this with us.
No problem. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for providing me this platform.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank all of our viewers for watching. Until next time, this is Kirat Attar signing off from this episode of CIO Leadership Live.